This is Umar for BoxNation. I'm joined by the White Rhino himself. It's been a minute actually since I've seen you, Dave. Wow, on a Riyadh season bill, Usyk Fury card. Did you ever think really this would happen, considering the point you were in your career?
Not really. No one's really seen me since 2019, I guess, really. I boxed Clark, but apart from that, there's not a lot been going on. Yes, obviously I thought I'd missed the boat, really. I was like 2016 till 2019. They were like my good years all over Sky and stuff. And then obviously Riyadh season's come in and boxing's really taken off again. Probably going to another level again. Probably not really. But I knew the Fisher fight was it was always going to be there. When I got beat by Clark, a lot of people was like, "Are you going to retire now?" And a big part of me, like carrying on, was the Fisher fight. Like I knew it would come. I went away, got busy on the small hall, got a few wins, paid a few quid out of my own pocket to make them fights happen, just to keep winning, and it paid off. I thought we'd be at the Copper Box, but it's not bad. It's not bad going over there either. So yeah, you know what it is? I backed myself, and it paid off. Yeah.
Dave, you'll know you're a very liked person within boxing, especially amongst hardcore British boxing fans. There has been concern, of course, about you fighting at this stage of your career. Johnny Fisher's an up and coming talent, a dangerous puncher. What would you say to those people who have those genuine concerns about you?
I say thank you, really. It's nice that people care, and if it comes from a place of care, then it's really nice. A lot of people just piggyback onto things that they've seen and heard said about me. I'm actually only 32, which is mad.
32 years old?
32.
I thought you were a little bit older, Dave.
Yeah, well, nice.
It's because you've been around for so long.
Yeah. Everyone thinks I'm like nearly 40 or something, but it's like I've been around forever, but I'm 32. I've not had that many fights. Amateur and pro, I've had 41 fights, amateur and pro. Look at like an Alexander Usyk, he's had like 350 combined. So I was a late starter. And probably more important than all of that, I had a good rest when I retired. And probably even more important than all of that is Johnny Fisher really, as good as he may well go on to be, it's early days really. I know how good he is and how strong he is and how hard he punches, but I can't sit here and be afraid of a man whose best win is Alan Babbage and Harry Armstrong. I boxed Luis Ortiz on a couple of weeks' notice, Dylan White on a few weeks' notice. I boxed David Price, Tony Yoka, Fraser Clark. I boxed world champions, boxed world title challengers, boxed 3 Olympic medalists. I can't be scared of a big, strong kid who's not really, doesn't really know how to box yet. So when I see all these comments, I'm just like, you're crazy, really. I'm not sat here saying I'm going to win the fight, it's going to be an easy night and all this. I'm just saying, like, I don't really have any fear of him because I've been done and seen it all before at a higher level.
What if it does get to round 5, round 6? How do you think that fight plays out in the later stages?
It just depends, really. It's what I am, like I said yesterday. Like I don't do anything spectacular. There's nothing really spectacular about me, but I'm a great survivor. Been a sparring partner to all the world champions, and you don't get invited into them camps if you can't survive. You're looking at like hundreds and hundreds of rounds with Joshua, Fury, Joyce. I was over there with Usyk, did like 40 rounds. So I'm a good survivor. And with kids like Johnny Fisher, who's just starting out now, and I know what I've been brought in to do. I've been brought in to get knocked over, effectively. But like in terms of Mark Tibbs, he's got a brain, he's got a boxing brain. He's brought me in to take him the rounds and test him. I know I can do that.
Is he more than just a ticket seller for Eddie Hearn?
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's good. He's got potential, but I just see him as potential. Like everyone's talking about him beating me and boxing for European titles. You don't beat Harry Armstrong for the area title, beat Alan Babbage, and then it's a mismatch with me. Like I'm not a world beater, but I mean, I just think the lack of respect I've got. Like this is a 1-round job. Like I laugh, really. I feel no pressure at all. When this fight was talked about, I thought, all right, this is like a people can perceive this to be like a 50-50, like he's the young kid coming through, I'm the old man past my best, but been and done it, and everyone's saying it's a one-round job, so I quite like that, really, because when he gets to round 5 and 6 and he's like, why is this fella still here, like, and why is he starting to hit me, and why am I starting to feel a bit tired? Then we'll see. So I don't predict a win, but I predict I'm going to give him all sorts of problems that will lead to give me chances in the fight to win the fight.
And you can reflect how good Johnny Fisher may be. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and I know how good he can be anyway, because physically he's like I said, I've boxed and sparred all the best fighters in the world. Physically, even as a 20-year-old kid, I remember when he left the gym that day. Johnny Fisher had more amateur fights than me, by the way. This narrative of 2 amateur fights is bullshit. He had 12. I had 10. So he came to the gym that day, and when he left, I thought, wow, this kid's strong. Like, he's strong and he hits hard. And I beat him up, and he's toughed it out for 6. I sparred the good ones. Everyone knows me for sparring the good ones, you know, and getting beat up, being tough, surviving. I sparred thousands of kids, and I've knocked out hundreds. Like, it is what it is. You know, you get the Johnny Fishers come down. There's loads of Johnny Fishers that come down. Oh, I'm going to be a pro boxer. I've had a few amateur fights. Sound. They don't survive. He survived. He got through it. He hit me back, and I thought, wow, he's got something. So it was no surprise to me when I saw him go on and start to do good things, but I just don't think, I think it's unfair that the pressure that's on him at the minute, the pressure on him is insane, really, because what he's achieved, if you put what he's achieved at the side of what is expected of him, it's crazy, really. He's not, he isn't where everyone. Johnny Fisher knows what he is because he's a smart kid, but he's here. Everyone's perceiving him to be here. He's not. That's the truth.
How would he get on with Moses Talma right now?
Moses Talma's too good for him at the moment. I'm sure I could have maybe boxed Moses Talma. If you'd offered me the Moses Talma fight, there's a very good chance I would have said no, because I wouldn't have beat Moses Talma. I don't see a way I would beat Moses Talma. That's the truth. I'm an older person now. I'm smarter. I've been around. I know what I can do. I know what I can't do. So the money was the same for the Fisher and the Talma fight. I'm not boxing Moses Talma because I don't perceive it to be winnable. But the Fisher fight, I do.
Do you think he's the future, Moses?
I think very possibly. He has to get hit on the chin. But for someone like me, am I going to hit him on the chin? That's the question. I can hit Johnny Fisher on the chin. That's definitely. I can hit anyone on the chin outside of like the top 30. I'm not saying I can beat anyone outside the top 30, but I'm gonna, you know, I can trip my way through a few rounds and catch it. But I think most of the time he's pretty good. Yeah, I think he's pretty good.
Dave, you know, out of those guys you just reeled, I'm talking about the elite guys, so Usyk, Fury. Who else have you done rounds with Dubois?
Joshua, a few with Dubois when he was younger. Yeah.
Who did you? I don't want you to out them really, but I'm just going to ask you anyways. Out of those elite guys, who did you actually find that you had most success against?
It's a difficult question because obviously with sparring, I used to spar Anthony Joshua 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Like, I'm coming off the sofa chilling all day. He's done 2 sessions that day already. You know, I sparred Tyson in the morning. So it's difficult. They're all brilliant, you know, and I've got a YouTube channel now. I talk about all my experiences sparring all these guys that everyone will have heard of, and the very top ones, like successful few and far between. I sparred Anthony Joshua. Say I did 500 rounds. You split that between maybe 100 spars. I reckon I won probably 1 spar, and the spar I won, I got out of the ring that day. Did 6 rounds. I boxed his ears off. He must have been tired. And I don't know, I must have been feeling good or something. Everyone was shaking my hand. That was amazing, brilliant. Oh my God, who are you, kind of thing. But I lost the other 99, you know. Sparred Tyson Fury maybe like 70 times. Probably like got the better of 1 spar. Do you know what I mean? Like, sparred Dubois for I think 3 rounds. Lost all 3.
Is the power real with Dubois?
Oh, Dubois' jab was harder than his right hand.
That's what everyone says.
His jab was unbelievable. I remember. He was 18 because I sparred Joe Joyce for 4, then I sparred Fraser Clark for 4, so I'd done 8 rounds. But I wanted to do 10. So Ron McCracken goes, Dave, there's a kid here, he's only 18, can he get in and do a few rounds? So I thought, I'm a bit tired, but if he's only 18, just send him in. Anyway, this big old kid is here like this. I thought, fucking hell, I thought, who's that? Anyway, he gets in and he hit me with the first jab, and my neck snapped back, and I'm looking at the ceiling, and I thought, wow. And I just looked after myself for 2 rounds and got through it. But I knew then, like with Johnny Fisher, I knew. Not to the same extent with Daniel Dubois, because even though like it's a similar age, Daniel Dubois was already on the Great Britain team. Johnny was just like a novice amateur. So, but like with Johnny Fisher, I knew like this kid's going to do something. Like Dubois, I was already thinking like this kid's going to be world class. Fisher didn't give me the same feel, but still a feel of he's going to turn pro, he's going to have a good career.
A couple of more things. You want to just plug your YouTube channel?
I don't know. I've got a YouTube channel. Just put my name in YouTube and
just
hopefully
type Dave Allen.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not really an expert, to be honest.
But if you type Dave Allen, that's a pretty
You'll
generic
find
name.
me. Dave Allen Boxing. Yes.
Lastly, just discussing Daniel Dubois, etc. Given what happened in the first fight with Anthony Joshua, if you were in Anthony Joshua's corner, advising him, what would you be saying about that rematch?
Well, I know Anthony Joshua really fancies the rematch.
You know that for a fact?
I know that for a fact. I was speaking to a friend of his, and I said, you was there, weren't you? So anyway, I was speaking to his friend, and I went over, and I was talking to him. We're old friends from being kids. And I said, how is he? He said, no, he's good. I said, what does he think? Because I thought the fight was really one-sided. So I said, is he going to take it again? Thinking like, oh, he might sidestep it, and to be a 3-time heavyweight champion, maybe there will be easier options present themselves down the line. You know, when the titles get fragmented after Usyk Fury, you don't know. And he goes, no, he thinks Dubois is shit. You know, like in the corner, he said, no, he believes it. I said, really? He said, yeah, like, you don't think much to him, really. So I said, all right. I said, so the rematch is going to happen? He said, yeah, definitely, 1,000,000%. So I think it was very one-sided, but I thought that was a very poor performance from Joshua. He was poor, and we can all have poor nights. Like, I've had more bad performances than anybody. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I wouldn't rule Joshua out in the rematch, but Dubois is the younger man. Probably more improvement to come from him, more confidence to come from him. Because the thing with Daniel that I've seen, like, I was penciled into boxing 5 years ago.
I remember,
and I thought, this kid's low on confidence. He's not the most confident kid in the world. His punch resistance, I think, as a young man still growing, was questionable. But like, he's getting bigger all the time. He's getting stronger all the time. You know, his punch resistance in the Hrgovic fight, now there's no question marks over it whatsoever. So I really do think Dubois wins the rematch. But I can see why Joshua probably thinks it is winnable. Because with Dubois, like, there is no surprises. He's just going to punch your head in. So Joshua probably does think he's just a big basic puncher, and he probably thinks he can outbox him. Because Anthony Joshua over the years has really transformed into a high-level operator, like a really good boxer. When I first started sparring Anthony, even though I first started sparring him when he was going for the Olympics, he was just a big, strong kid. Like, there was nothing special about him, and over time he transformed himself into a really good boxer. I personally think that wasn't the right thing for him. I preferred Anthony Joshua with a wrecking ball. Thought that was working for him. He's now transformed into some nice, cute boxer. But yeah, I know he fancied it anyway. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. The first fight was amazing, I thought. Watching it live was amazing. But you know, these big fights, they're always good. You know, like Mayweather Pacquiao.
Yeah.
At the time, I was like this. I'm sat forward watching it.
It wasn't a great fight, actually.
It wasn't a great fight at all, but the atmosphere, the magnitude of the event is great. So yeah, I know Joshua fancies it from what I've been told, and yeah, I would like to see him win the fight. To be honest, while I think Dubois wins, I would like to see Joshua become a 3-time champion. I would like to see him turn it around and maybe get a trilogy. It'd be great, wouldn't it?
Listen, go well in camp, and we'll see you in Riyadh. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Dave Allen.